Made mention of this a couple of days ago, so you guys already know. Just want to lay the groundwork for what we're going to be talking about here just in a second. Bud Light sales staff are on the receiving end of middle fingers and abusive language. Well, it was also the truck drivers that were on the receiving end. I'm pretty sure that is the exact same description. Oh, vulgar language. Oh my God. Heaven forbid truck drivers receive vulgar language and getting flipped off. Heaven forbid that happens. And now sales guys that go into bars and other locations, oh my God, they've never heard, their virgin ears are bleeding at this point in time. Like, come on, man, you expect me to feel sad for vice peddlers? Yeah, I don't really think so, man. But all right, amid the Dylan Mulvaney debacle, as their commissions take a huge hit, yeah, that's the thing, and I laid out my position on that. It's like, yeah, okay, a good salesman can pretty much sell anything, right? It doesn't really much matter if you're hawking beer or if you're selling tangible electronic devices. You can pretty much do it, because a good salesman doesn't sell a product, they sell themselves. Bud Light, though, Anheuser Busch umbrella of products, that's a different story, because you have something that is just so absolutely toxic that the average person wants nothing to do with it at all whatsoever. So that's why we're seeing people jump ship. And what I prognosticated a couple of days ago is 1000% becoming true, because if you follow this channel, you're just going to be a few days ahead. I go ahead and read the tea leaves. It's not even that. It's not even that mystical. All you need to do is just employ some simple pattern recognition, and you realize exactly what's going on. You can see this stuff because none of this shit is new. We've seen beers be right up at the top, fall completely off, somebody come in, take the spot. And we've also seen the get woke, go broke marketing how many fucking different times? It's a meme for a reason. You know the patterns, you know the rise, you know the fall. It's very, very simple. The only thing that is incredibly unique about this Bud Light situation is just for how long it's gone on. Like, what are we on? Are we going to have to get Dylan Mulvaney kindergarten supplies in order for him to go to school at this point in time, because this stuff has been going on for so long? But I think that there's probably a registry that Dylan's on that kind of precludes him from getting too close to a school. So anyways, I just noticed something just as I was scrolling down there right quick. Things are getting so bad at Anheuser Busch that they had to sell off the N. Oh, that's so bad. Why the N first, huh? Why are you doing that? You wouldn't do that in February now, would you? But no. The salespeople at Bud Light have been hit with a barrage of homophobic attacks, including abusive language in the middle finger and homophobic slurs in the wake of Dylan Mulvaney's debacle. One company supervisor told ABC News, yeah, this is the same one from Florida that we talked about, Bud Light's parent company, Anheuser-Busch, lost a staggering $27 billion in value market capitalization as a result of the backlash. And as you can see, that's the face of everybody that's down there. 27 billion. Holy fuck. Over one tranny can? Is that all? Is that holy. There's Michael Ducaris with his, is that UN? No, it's not WHO. That could be WEF pin that he's wearing right there on his lapel. Interesting stuff. I couldn't imagine a company that didn't deserve more to be in the poorhouse right now. POOR, not POUR. Nearly 7 weeks since the fiasco. 7 weeks? Christ, April 1st, and we're right here, June 5th. Can that be 8 weeks? Anyways, members who work on sales at roughly 500 independent wholesalers that sell Anheuser-Busch products to restaurants, bars, and grocery stores have had their commissions cut. Some of the sales team have reported losing $2,000 last month compared to a typical May because of the backlash. And I can't wait, because with either tomorrow or the day after, we're going to get those Memorial Day sales figures, and oh my God, they are going to be a bloodbath. I would anticipate, because from that same response we've seen before, about a 60% drop off is what is being reported from the people that are out there peddling this piss on the street. And if that's the case, it's going to be a fire sale. It's going to be a great time to buy some Anheuser-Busch stock, because they are too big to fail. And it's America, and it's probably the biggest user base, but you can go in there and you can get some stock on the cheap, because they'll eventually pull out of this. Eventually, if given enough time. But we haven't seen the bottom when it comes to their stock quite yet, mostly because of this report right here that Bud Light is running out of time and could lose market share forever. Nobody's going to get that reference, but that's fine. Brand will lose retail shelf space. That's a problem. That is a significant problem. To Miller and Coors, if they cannot reverse plunging sales, warns ex-Anheuser Busch executive. Because, yeah, sales are bad right now, but nothing's really changed when it comes to merchandising at the store. But if it's products that aren't being moved anymore, if all the beer buybacks are successful and everybody else starts to realize when you start to lay out your merchandising plans, it's like, okay, we're selling out of Coors, we're selling out of Miller, selling out of Yingling, whatever the hell else is up there. Okay, so, if we can keep more beer on hand, especially for the summertime season, okay, what's not moving? The Bud Light. And it used to be, that much of your 6-foot section? Sorry, you can't really see from the cameras, but I'm extending my hands out as far as possible. And we've all seen the pictures. Christ almighty, I'll have one on the thumbnail, okay? You know. I wonder if they have one that's in here as well, but no, they just got a bunch of creepy people with creepy faces. But no, you have your beer section that's right there. Everything is out. More just a couple of cases, a few 6-packs, a couple of 12-packs that are on the shelf of different brands. Everything else, though, completely gone, except for the Bud Light, except for the Bud Platinum, 55 Select, whatever that one is, and then Budweiser as well. Maybe a couple of Michelob Ultras taken off, but outside of that, nobody wants anything to do with the product anymore. So if that stuff's not moving anymore, if it's not selling, the stores are no longer going to request it, and then you get zeroed out of the game completely, and you go right back to just a local craft brewer and just big budget startup where you can buy your way into the game, but when you were getting that free premium space to begin with, you're not going to be getting that handed back, especially with such a toxic brand. Anson Fredericks, former U.S. president, not that one, of sales and distribution for the St. Louis-based Anheuser-Busch, said the retailers such as Walmart and Kroger typically reset their shelf space allocations in the spring and the fall based on sales data. Yeah, so that's why it's been funny to track the sales data over the past 7 weeks at this point in time, and yeah, it's been hilarious to see the persistent and consistent drops. It's just those chickens are going to come home to roost right around Labor Day. Ugh. For the fall reset in September, they generally take sales data from April, May, June, July. Oh, Lord have mercy. And you know what? We already know what it looks like for April. Not good. May, atrocious. June, bruh, it could be right in the tank. And based off that and the data in the time period, they will reallocate shelf space. Yeah, no, that's what happens. You do it quarterly, right? And somebody who's been in the game at this level before, yeah, that's normally what you do, especially, well, on my side of it, I was doing more clothing and fashion stuff, so that gets done quarterly. I guess with grocery stores, it gets updated, biannually. That makes sense. For sales numbers, obviously, the changes and shifts and all that stuff, that makes sense. If Bud Light sales continue to slump, that shelf space will be allocated to Miller Lite, Coors Light, Yingling. Wow, those are the ones that I named, but I guess I've just been covering it so much. Those are the ones that just, immediately pop up. And some of the other brands that have taken the share of them. Yeah, no, that totally makes sense. And yeah, just taking a look at the big red arrows that are down there, 6.9%, nice, in April 8th, and then after that, 17, 21, 23, 23, 24, 25. I would imagine, if it's not going to be 30 for Memorial Day, I'd imagine they're probably hoping it's only 30. Chances are, don't be surprised if it's 40. Don't be surprised if it's 50. It could be atrocious, man. It's definitely going to be a new number that we're going to be seeing, and it's not going to be positive. Not at all. Those brands will have a better likelihood to succeed long term because they have more shelf space. Yes, exactly. They have more inventory. They have more backstock, and they have more ability for consumers. Exactly. No, that's just basic practice when it comes to selling your goods in a big box store. You have space. You have visibility. Things that are visible are more likely to be sold. It's just, hey man, it's marketing 101. That almost permanently then locks us in as a new form of where their sales will be and what their share of the beer category will be. Unless, of course, they play some dirty pool and buy some shelf space. But that would be, that would be a sad sign to see. But hey, I wouldn't put it past them. They do have in the overall, as it stands right now, a share of the market, it's far and away, it's much larger than Molson Coors right now, the second biggest conglomerate that's out there. So yeah, we'll have to see. Fredericks, who co-founded Strive Asset Management with a long-shot Republican presidential candidate Vivek Ramaswamy, hey, shout out, after leaving AB last year, has been harshly critical of his former employer's handling of the Mulvaney backlash. I don't think that this was the same guy who came up and also was shitting on Anheuser Busch after they were bought by InBev. It's like, yeah, they kind of killed creativity because it just became way too corporate. The guy who came up with all of the marketing strategy and all of the successful campaigns that you know and appreciate from Budweiser, yeah, so everybody's just taking shots. This Anson fellow just looks like a different one. Anheuser Busch needs to figure out a strategy. Needs to make a statement about who their customers are and who they're going to serve now, and try and regain those customers now in June and July. Yeah, because apparently even giving away free beer isn't moving product, because by time it's August, September, it's too late. Yeah, no, because you've already got trends in there. You still have to mitigate losses at this point in time, but it really doesn't seem that way, man. It's become a meme. Tranny fluid has become a meme in association with Bud Light, and it is radioactive. Bump Williams, whose consultancy is of the same name, analyzes the alcohol industry, expressed skepticism that Bud Light faced an imminent reduction in shelf space at major retailers. All right, because we've heard from this guy as well recently. He noted in 2023 year-to-date sales, Bud Light is still the top-selling beer in the nation. No, Modelo just took it over for May, so that's incorrect at this point in time, but we'll see. Yeah, individual weeks, it has dipped below Modelo. Yeah, but on the current trajectory, it's not good. Not looking good. Bud Light could lose shelf space based upon its lost sales, but it'd be hard-pressed to believe that the retailers would reduce shelf space for the number one selling brand in the country today on a year-to-date basis. Well, if there's a gigantic discrepancy when it comes to moving product, they won't hesitate, man. These are places that, in contrary to what Anheuser-Busch was doing, like to make money. If at the end of 2023 we find the Bud Light drop to the number 2 selling brand, they'll more than likely maintain their fair share of space. Yeah, if the number 2, but nobody's buying. Look at that. One's going down. Everybody else, though, everybody, literally across the board, everybody else is going up. Anything with an Anheuser-Busch logo on it, nobody wants it. They wouldn't even use it as a lubricant if you're wingman for your friend and you end up pulling the grenade for the evening. They aren't even doing that. It's real tough out here. Anheuser-Busch did not immediately respond to requests for comment outside of normal business hours. Oh, man. For the week ending May 20th, Bud Light sales were down 25.7% for the same week a year ago. And then I think, what was the May 27 numbers? They were 27%. So yeah, it continues to fall like that. Like I said, we are just simply waiting for those numbers to see what Modelo does in overtaking Bud Light, and what ultimately the unofficial kickoff to summer, what they have in store for the brand. So with all that said, thank you all very much for the gift of your time. I've been Don Consuelo. I want you to follow your gut and get after it. Take care, everyone.